Hello, I'm Ramona, and welcome to Healing Inspiration. Today, our topic is 8 ways to raise your vibration. Now, if you're coming to this video, you probably already have some ideas, at least, about what vibration is um, and want to raise your vibration. So you have some information already. But generally speaking, everything is energy. This is not just some woo-woo spiritual stuff. Scientifically, on the quantum physics level, everything is made up of some level of energy. And there are different frequencies of energy. There are lower frequencies, there are higher frequencies. Generally speaking, that we tend to believe that all of the higher frequencies are the best vibes to be in, which they are, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. But there are a lot of things you can do that are smaller things that could have good effect, but we're looking more right now to change your dominant vibration of ways to do that, like on a more deep level, uh, by doing certain activities at certain periods of time that can increase your vibration for that moment, but you still generally have a dominant vibration. And the same thing when, there's lower energy things that come around. So your vibration may be lowered for that period of time, but your resonant vibration, you'll come back to that dominant vibration of what you have. So some of the things I'm mentioning here, if practiced on a regular basis, should raise your dominant vibration. So generally speaking, you'll be resonating at a higher level. So at the lowest levels of vibration, it's fear, shame, depression, anger, things like that. You come to a neutral vibration, and then there's interest, and there's joy and love and peace and light. So as we raise our vibration, we come into more alignment with that light, peace, prosperity, and less with pain, anger, sadness, grief, even though those things will have their place. The first way to raise your dominant vibration is through awareness. Now, awareness itself is light. So it allows you to see. So whatever allows you to see the truth, allows you to see reality, or allows you to see physically, is light. And light resonates at the very highest vibration. Think enlightenment. So anything that brings light will help to raise your vibration. And if you cultivate awareness, you're cultivating a higher vibration and practicing awareness. Now, what I mean by awareness is not living in denial, like finding out who you really are at your core, what you really want, understanding, putting a light on your thinking process, and not just thinking habitually or doing things habitually, but actually paying attention to why you don't do those things. I mean, you may do it for good reasons or not, but paying attention to the whys and the hows, and why do you practice those things, and just, how do you feel about it? How do certain relationships feel? How do you feel about your work? Coming into awareness and bringing light to things around you, rather than just staying in darkness and just going through the motions, which more than likely is kind of on the opposite end of awareness, is just letting things go the way they are and never calling them into question. So when you question and when you pay attention to your inner self, to your outer world, and to different circumstances, it's always a good idea to question and pay attention to the deeper meaning. So coming into an awareness rather than remaining in a state of denial or habituation where you just do it without thinking about it, do it without awareness, or not thinking of the consequences or why you're doing it or all of those things. So awareness is just bringing light and opening your focus and paying attention to the hows, the whys, the deeper meanings around different things. And enlighten yourself, learning about life. Like right now, just if you're gaining any knowledge from watching a video like this, you are heightening your awareness and you're creating more light for you to see things more clearly, which that light that's coming in and that light that you give to those things within you and around you is going to raise your vibration. And having that practice of becoming more aware, paying greater attention, and learning more is going to bring more light. Hence, it's going to raise your dominant vibration in its regular practice. And the number 2 to raise your resonant or your dominant vibration will be to feel your emotions. So emotions are energy. They are energy in motion, and they're meant to continue to move. They don't remain stagnant. So I think oftentimes in our society, or maybe in just humanity in general, we don't value emotions for what they are. And a lot of times we try to suppress those negative quote unquote emotions rather than fully experiencing them, expressing them. This is part of awareness, of being aware of those emotions, that they actually exist. To fully feel your emotions, you're allowing them to flow through you. And if you don't take those emotions that you feel are bad or wrong or negative and take the time to be aware of them and to feel them and allow them to process through multiple different arenas, you can do this. Their energy of that suppression is going to come out in a way maybe that you wouldn't want it to. It could come out in an angry outburst. Especially like when you're triggered, when people say, well, that triggers me, that's saying there's some kind of a wound or a belief or a trauma that has not been fully dealt with. And whatever is triggering you is actually bringing that up to the surface for you to see, for you to deal with. And as you deal with and allow your emotions to give you those messages that they intend on doing, and allowing them to flow and expressing them in healthy ways, and when you start to do that on a continual basis and deal with those things that have become stuck from the past, the different traumas and all of that from the past, and you start to actually feel your feelings, express your feelings in a happy way, and allow them to serve their purpose, then as you're releasing and allowing those things to flow and allowing that energy to flow, it's naturally going to raise your dominant vibration, because you're allowing that energy, particularly those shadow energies, to have voice, and you're bringing light to them when you allow them to flow rather than suppress them in one way or another, whether it's through an addiction, through hard work, through exercise, through eating, through anything you do to avoid it rather than feel and express it. And contrary to popular belief, feeling emotions and allowing them to flow through you doesn't lower your vibration. Even though you may feel this sense of grief, and you allow that to flow and you deal with it, you work with it, you express it. Now that is on a lower vibrational scale, grief is, but ultimately it will raise your dominant vibration to allow those feelings to flow, because then it won't express itself in other unhealthy ways, because it's going to come out one way or another, and it's going to continue to show its ugly head and create, more of that thing if it's not allowed to do what it's meant to do and flow and give the message and be expressed. Number 3, affirmations. Now, so this is kind of goes along affirmations, core beliefs, positive thinking, optimism, things like that. So I'm not one to say to just put a positive thought on top of something, and all of a sudden it's going to change that. Not necessarily. So what you have to think about with affirmations, first of all, it has to be true to you. Now, if I'm coming from a place that I'm dirt poor, I have in my physical reality, I'm in poverty, and then I decide, well, I'm going to take this affirmation. I'm a millionaire. Okay. Now, do you really believe that? I mean, it could be true. You could do that. Now, you really do have to resonate with it. That means come into alignment with the same frequency of that thing of being a millionaire. You have to truly believe it and feel it. Now, if an affirmation or a positive thought triggers you, like in that situation, I'm a millionaire. No, I'm not. If it creates resistance within you to that very thing that you're wanting, you want that abundance and all of that stuff. It's actually working against you. So if it's an affirmation where you're really like, I really don't believe that, that's bullshit. That's not the affirmation for you. Okay, so you're going to come from where your starting place. So if you're in the vibration of poverty right now, because that's what you see in your physical reality, move up a step. You don't have to be like, I'm a millionaire. What's the next step that you do resonate with, that you do feel more comfortable with, that you can get your emotions on board with, that you can get your thoughts on board with? What is that affirmation? So if you are in poverty is, I have enough money to feed myself and my family. Maybe that's the next step. You can continue to increase the steps and take in those affirmations that deal with those things. Those things you want to change in your life, those things you want to manifest in your life, or the good things you want to bring into your life and make your reality, and the thought processes you want to make into your reality. So positive thinking is always good, but make sure positive thinking is in alignment with your beliefs, your core beliefs. Know that you can take the next step. You don't have to fly way off the handle. And you're not going to go instantaneously, particularly in your dominant vibration, from, down here to up here overnight. It's okay to make progress. Even if you make a small bit of progress, I think the 1% rule, do 1% better each day, 1%. And that's going to start to multiply. That 1% doesn't seem like much today, but it will make a big difference. So change your thinking by 1%. Go to the next level. I'll never find love, to maybe it's possible. Maybe that's the next place. that you don't find a resistance completely. Like, well, it must be possible because other people have. So, and do things to encourage yourself in that thinking state. And when you are triggered, when you do find resistance in whatever thing you want to create in your life, and with those affirmations, for example, and you feel that resistance, know that there's a core belief and look into that core belief or a feeling or an experience or something that makes you believe against that thing for yourself. And here comes to awareness then. So if that affirmation triggers you, or that positive thought triggers you, it is a message to say, there's a core belief, there's a traumatic event, there is, words that were spoken to me or into my life that makes me believe something different. There's something I believe about myself that's causing me to resist this. Because truly, you do deserve those good things you want to manifest in your life. You deserve to raise your dominant vibration so you experience on a regular basis joy, peace, happiness, passion, compassion, kindness, prosperity, abundance. And when those things trigger you and positive thinking in those directions trigger you, it's because there is something within you that believes you don't deserve it. There's a traumatic event, there's a thought process, there's something very deeply ingrained, there's a core belief. And so triggers are good because they make you aware and bring light within that. So affirmations. Next, number 4, express your thoughts and emotions in a positive outlook. In a positive outlet, sorry. So when you have even the lower vibrational energies, where we have depression, anger, sadness, jealousy, find a way, whatever way suits you. If you enjoy dance, because any kind of movement moves energy, physical movement moves energy, even driving in a car. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you're upset, so you want to drive in a car. And I'm not saying if you're angry because, not to drive dangerously, but actually that physical movement that you're experiencing is processing some of those, it's processing that energy, and it's helping that energy flow rather than become stagnant. Or if you need to take a walk, or if you enjoy dance or any kind of movement, yoga is a really good one to practice, walking, breathing deeply, which creates movement and life force energy, it moves. Or experiencing movement physically with the movement of water over your body, the movement of air on your skin. So any energy like that with movement, then creativity, express your emotions and your thoughts, even if you feel they're negative thoughts, whether it's writing you're still moving that energy. Writing, verbalizing it to someone you trust, or just verbalizing it in general, putting it into a creative project, taking that energy and creating whatever. I don't care if it's beautiful or not beautiful. It is beautiful as an expression and something you enjoy doing, like doing. Just move that energy through a creative outlet, a productive outlet, whatever it is you need to do. But especially, those making motion happen for those thoughts and feelings so they can be processed. And something good can be created from it as well. So movement allows things to flow through you and will then, in creativity and activity, raise your dominant vibration, especially when that is your habit in how you practice. My camera stopped recording, so we're just going to move on. Uh, Number 5, to raise your dominant vibration, it would be your environment. Now, your environment, first, we're primarily talking about more your home. So if there's clutter in your environment, that can really drag you down and create a more of a heavy energy. Or if it is not clean, so cleaning things up, getting rid of stuff that doesn't really, light you up, or things that aren't useful to you, and holding on to those things. It can be a representation of what's inside of you, because your outer world does mirror your inner world. But cleaning your environment, uncluttering your environment, putting things that you really enjoy, that you like, that are useful to you within your environment is important. If your decor and things like that, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel to see that? Does it bring you encouragement or discouragement? Does it tire you out, or does it invigorate you with energy? So think about when you think about your environment. Also adding anything natural to your environment, natural light, plants, having animals that you love and enjoy will increase your vibration if that's in your home energy. Good smells, incense, essential oils, things that just give you a good feeling, and regularly being in a positive environment like that in the physical sense of the word. Having running water, fountains, things like that, things that bring you peace, joy, you find are beautiful, pictures of family that you love. So be very mindful and aware, again, of how your environment makes you feel. Now, to some extent, maybe you can't control the entire environment around you, whether, you could be at work all day or different places like that. Make a small, even in your household, make a small corner for yourself where you can put things that bring you comfort, of pillows and pictures of family and friends, or beautiful scenery, beautiful smells, making a small altar if you like crystals, if you like whatever you like. Surround yourself with that lighter energy. And if that's even impossible for you, do your best to get outside, get in a more natural environment, because that will uplift your dominant vibration. If you're always in a cluttered, messy, heavy, weighty, not pretty, not happy looking environment, that's going to bring you down and bring down your dominant vibration. So definitely pay attention to your environment and making that a more positive, uplifting thing for you in your life. Number 6 is relationships. Now, this could be very, very deep and detailed subject, but we'll just touch on it a little bit. So we always talk about toxic people and getting rid of toxic people from our environment. And that's not always possible. Some of the people who maybe have toxic traits that we deal with could be family members and, people that we really, or coworkers, things like that, that we still need to deal with on a regular basis. But generally speaking, if you know someone, or having an intimate relationship with someone is toxic to you, if they're bringing in negative energies, maybe they're an angry, hateful person, and that's a dominant vibration for them, that will bring you down, especially on an intimate relationship with them. Because you really, even if you have a higher frequency, say you're more in the happy state, and someone who's an angry person comes in order for you to vibe with them or have that intimacy with them, you're often going to lower your vibration down to theirs. So it is good to be mindful of the dominant vibrations of others. So how do you feel when you're around this person and around that energy? Is it encouraging and uplifting, or is do you notice that it regularly brings you down? Obviously, everybody has their days. So we're not talking about, some days there's an issue. We're talking about something that's more consistent. The people who are bringing you down on a regular basis, it's not even saying they are bad people, but you may want to limit your time and your attention to those relationships, because it's really bringing you down and your dominant vibration down. Look for those people that are going to be more uplifting, who are happier, who are more hopeful, who embody that energy you want to embody, more so than those that bring you down and you have to fight to either stay up, or you're trying to fix them or help them, or, things like that, which is really draining you of energy, rather than lifting your vibration. And not to say you should never help anybody, or you should never have a friend who is down and out. I mean, that happens, or is depressed or whatever. They may need your help. But generally speaking, those you have intimate relationships with, that you choose to have in your life on a regular basis, is something you need to pay attention to when it comes to your own vibration. Can you maintain your positive vibration and maintain a relationship with that person on that intimate of a level? Maybe you need to decrease your time with them. Maybe, you need to protect your energy more and learn more ways to do that if it's a person you have to come in contact with. So paying attention to your relationships, that they are positive, will affect your dominant vibration. The next one is number 7, and that is being in alignment with who you truly are. So whatever you do in your life, so is where you live in alignment with who you truly are? Is what you're doing with your, are you a person who loves the city and you're in the country, or vice versa? Do you prefer an apartment or a home? Just the location, the people around you, how is that in alignment with who you are? I mean, that's up to you to determine. So it is important that you make choices according to who you genuinely are on the inside, rather than what others expect of you, or what you even expect from yourself, based on different things. Is that job in alignment with you? Maybe it is for now. Maybe your dream, it's going to take a while to work towards it. But if your job just makes you feel like crap all the time, every day, you're dreading going to it all the time, it's something to consider. Is this job really in alignment with me? Is there something else that I could do that is in more alignment with me? That's something you do with so much of your time. There may be good reasons for you to be there for now, but it is something to consider on a larger basis of what job you're doing. How about your habits? Are your habits and your lifestyle that you are choosing to live, is that, draining you, or is that making you uplifted? Is it in alignment with who you really are? Are you living that way to impress somebody else, to be in alignment with societal standards, or are you doing it because it's genuinely who you are and genuinely what you enjoy, what you love? So to start to craft the life, and it does start with awareness of knowing who you are, what you want, what makes you happy, what makes you tick, what gives you that fire inside, to know what will be in alignment with who you truly are. But when you're regularly in some bigger areas of life, just not being in alignment with who you truly are, and obviously the job is one of the biggest things there that can be a good example, is if you're dreading going to work every day, to that job, it's bringing you down. It's bringing you down and bringing down your dominant vibration. And there's not going to be a job that's going to be like 100% of the time it, or maybe there will be, I don't know, but there's usually something you don't like in every job, at least. But generally speaking, if you're dreading going there, it's causing you depression, you're angry, frustrated, stressed out. Either the job is wrong or the approach is wrong, and that's something to take a look at. And the same thing with other major things in your life. Is that in alignment with who you truly are? Is your expression of sexuality in alignment with who you truly are? Is your expression verbally in alignment with who you truly are? Maybe you're suppressing your words. Maybe you're suppressing your true feelings. I'm not talking about just spewing garbage at people, but being able to express who you really are and being in alignment with your true self and evaluating that each area of your life and seeing what really resonates with you and living out of that place is going to raise your dominant vibration. And number 8, what you put in your body, on your body, and how you nourish your body, how you hydrate your body is very important. And your physical body is basically organic. So whatever you put into your body, whatever is more organic in alignment with that is going to be more healthy for your body to digest. So synthetic things, like eating synthetic things and fake things, where we call it food, but it's really chemicals, things like that, is going to lower your vibration. The higher vibe foods, definitely you want to hydrate your body because water is at quite a high vibration. So make sure you're well hydrated, but then you have your fruits and your vegetables. If you can do non-GMO, organic, whatever you can do to start to improve the vibrational energy of the foods you eat. And also, and it's a personal choice, but like eating animals and all kinds of animals that have, particularly the ones who in the industry that are being harmed, tortured, killed in very bad ways, that energy is within that product, which we then consume. So we're kind of eating that death and torture and fear and stuff like that. And so that can decrease your vibration. So being mindful of that, that kindness factor and how animals and the foods that you eat are treated. And then the things that you put on your body, chemicals do seep into your skin and it can create hormonal issues, all of those different things. So being careful about that. Cleansing your physical body, like taking a shower or going for a swim, really actually cleanses your energy. So taking that time, as you do with your physical body, to cleanse your energetic body with nature, with water, with getting out in the fresh air, being mindful of the products that you use, that they're going to be non-poisonous to your system. So just paying attention to what you put in your body and on your body, that they have, lighter energies to them. And I guess that's in making sure you move, as we talked before. And we talk about physical exercise, but I like to say more about movement, whatever movements physically you enjoy. And it's important that you enjoy it. If you enjoy walks, if you enjoy stretching, dancing, basically doing cartwheels, playing with your kids outside, riding a bicycle, movement on a regular basis is going to move that energy and it's going to increase your vibration. So these are some of the ideas that could help you, if you look further into them, to raise your dominant vibration if you practice them on a regular basis. So I hope this was enlightening or helpful to you in some way. If you have any other ideas, please put them in the comments. If this helped you in any way, please like the video, share it, subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I thank you for joining me and have a wonderful and blessed day. Goodbye.